must be willing, ready, prepared to play by the rule. And part of the things that political leaders should not do is demarcate their party, forgetting that that same party they wish to demarcate had favored them one times too many. And if you don't get that, then I think you don't stand for it.
So it will have been, if Atiku gets the ticket of the PDP, that would have been 3 times back to back.
That's not even the point. What about the one we gave him that made him vice president, that made everybody know him?
That's twice.
Exactly. Add that to the 2 ones that we gave him as presidential ticket.
So you are inferring that it may not be fair for Atiku to run again in 2027.
No. Don't listen, Sheung. Don't let's kid about. What I'm saying is that, you see, the People's Democratic Party, my party, we are a party that allows free contest. We have never been a party where we hold anybody's hand. I mean, can you imagine we keep losing 2023 election? Do you know the kind of contribution they had been making before then? Do you know what type of bills he has been picking on behalf of people before then? But because it was a free contest, everybody came, somebody dropped down for somebody, and another person won, and the result is the result. Of course, people can brood, people can be upset and all that, but that's fine. But in the 2027 too, the People's Democratic Party of Nigeria will open up its rules, will announce when it is time for buying the form. Anybody that feels strong enough to contest should go and contest there. If I were Peter Obi, I'll come and take that ticket. I'll make a very strong stake for that ticket. And I
Peter
think
Obi should return to the PDP.
I think that if I were him, I'll make a strong stake for that ticket, because I really do not see why the Igbos. This party was actually conceived in the bedroom of Alex Ekweme. I really do not see why the Igbos and the southern leaders and other leaders of thought in the country, especially in the PDP, cannot say, okay, we accept, we owe a southeastern debt. Here's the ticket. If Peter can do 6 point something all by himself, with no governor, no nothing, can you imagine what he would do with 12 governors and a strong grassroots infrastructure? Have you seen the way we do primaries? Our primaries are like movies. They're like a movie set. We don't joke about. It's so choreographed. It's so beautiful. And if we've gone everywhere else. We've not gone to the southeast. But Peter is at liberties to do as he wishes.
So Peter, if Peter Obi goes to the PDP, it's almost like a stroll.
It will likely get
into the presidency.
It will likely get the ticket. I don't know about stroll. Every contest must be, keenly contested. You have to count. You can't count.
But it will be easier for him.
Because he'll be, if he gets that, if his numbers and his animate energy that is following him were to follow him into the PDP and he was the presidential candidate, I can guarantee you Peter will take the southeast. Peter will take the south-south. Peter will take the Christian north. Peter will take north central. Do you know how many votes PDP can bring for him, even without campaigning? Just PDP and people will just come apart.
But it doesn't look like Peter will leave Labour Party.
It's not listen. You asked a question that allowed me to speak to that possibility.
To the permutation.
If Atiku picks the ticket of the PDP, the challenge is we have to find somebody that can back him. If Seyi Makinde picks the ticket of the PDP, the challenge is we have to find somebody that will back him. I've heard a lot of people in the country as I go around and tell me that, Shagun, why are you not even talking to us about Bala Mohammed? If Bala, the former governor, the governor of Bauchi State, if Bala picks the ticket, we'll back him. There is always a pathway for it. If Shagun Shomi get the ticket of PDP, I know where to go find the running mate. What I'm trying to say in essence is that people must understand political parties must be nurtured. It's not every day that it's going to be easy. The difficult work has to be done by those that have been given much, and to whom much is given.
You won't need a car to travel. You won't need an aeroplane to travel. You will just say, I want to go to London. And you'll be in London. Whether you believe it or not.
Whether you believe it or not. So his permutation, right, is that if Peter Obi can come back to PDP, it's going to be just walk in the park. Maybe not like that, but yeah. So they will mobilize for him, they will blah, 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 and all of that stuff. It's still part of coalition talk. A group of young people put themselves together, right, to talk about the same coalition talk I think they are PDP guys, okay? So they came together and said that the PDP governors should reconsider. And let me tell you the PDP governors that are going to join APC anytime soon. Peter Mba of Enugu, Sheriff Overebori of Delta, what's the other one? That's Umo, Numero Umo of Akwa Ibom. There is one more. The mandate suspended. Seamless Fubara. These 4 governors, one after the other, sooner or later, are expected to declare for APC, and they are going to say they are doing so for the sake of the progress of Nigeria. So to the ones who are still here, these guys are begging them to please support the coalition of, seriously.
Forming a unified opposition coalition is not just a strategy, it is a necessity and a compulsory for any compatriot Nigeria irrespective of his political affiliation. Neither His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, Peter Obi of Labour Party, nor Rabi Musa Kwankwaso of NNPP has the individual capacity and political weight or national spirit now to defeat or unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration alone. Yet, combined, the 3 major parties secured 2 times votes of President Bola Tinubu in the 2023 general election. Imagine if they come together in the upcoming 2023-2027 general election. Beloved Nigerians, if we fail to unite, we are handling President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a second-term win on a flatter.
The group further calls on key stakeholders of the PDP to set strategies capable of unseating the current APC administration.
I strongly urge the PDP Governors Forum to immediately reconsider their decision and prioritize the interests of Nigerians over their personal or sectional interests. Otherwise, Nigerian youths will find leaders who prioritize their interests and defend their rights in the upcoming 2027 election, as we are now wiser than ever. Unity is strength. Coalition building is key. Strategic alliance can help the opposition to tap into new power base, build a broadened coalition, and increase its chances of winning the 2027 general election. Nigerians' future is at stake. The 2027 general election presents an opportunity for Nigerians to chart a new course.
I write, begging everybody to come together for the sake of Nigeria. Bakare also spoke today in his church, where he likened Tinubu's government and policies to that of the motor park-styled government, in a message to the country. He called it this morning. Bakare.
Fellow citizens, at the center of this political banditry is the motor park brand of politics, nurtured by the old brigade politicians, and in recent times by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Mr. President, it is through your influence that the Nigerian National Assembly has become a haven for legislative rascality. Mr. President, it's under your watch that the National Assembly has become an extension of the executive, grossly violating the principles of separation of powers and rubber stamping the whims and caprices of your office, all while singing the international anthem of sycophants on your mandate, we shall stand. Mr. President, thanks to your political machinations, Nigeria is now bedeviled by a captured National Assembly the most ineffective in its checks and balances role since the start of the Fourth Republic. In 2006, the Fourth National Assembly had the audacity to reject the tenure extension bid of a sitting president. In 2010, the Sixth National Assembly summoned the courage to stand against a power hijacking cabal and restore Nigeria to the path of constitutionality by invoking the doctrine of necessity. In 2011, the House of Representatives of the Seventh National Assembly had the courage to elect its leaders, as did the Senate of the Eighth National Assembly in 2015, defying executive interference. This National Assembly, the 10th, has by its unconstitutional endorsement of the president's abuse of powers proven to be the most spineless in our recent history. Through its actions and inactions, the National Assembly has in effect become the 48th member of the president's cabinet. Why, fellow citizens?
70 years old man.
Jesus is Lord.
Pastor Bakare, indeed, it is what Kolu has managed to turn the contraption into a motor park kind of politics and policies. Pastor Bakare, Dele Momodu describe what you have in that contraption right now. He describes it as a mafia group of people in government. Mafiasto, mafiasco, right? Bob D.
I do not like to engage in exercise in futility. I know for a fact that Nigeria is a mafia nation, and that is why this impunity can occur regularly and repeatedly. It's an exercise in futility to say go and prosecute Babangida when he's one of the major members of the owners of Nigeria. I came up with that theory in 1998-99, when General Olusegun Obasanjo was contesting against Chief Olufalaye. And I tried to get Dr. Rinwan Lukman, who was at OPEC in Vienna at that time. I traveled to Vienna to persuade him to be a running mate to Chief Olufalaye. And Dr. Rinwan Lukman told me that the owners of Nigeria have decided that Obasanjo is the next president of Nigeria. And I said, are we not going to have an election? And he said, of course, we have an election, but it's all preconceived, preconsidered, and then predetermined. So it is virtually impossible today, the way Nigeria is configured. You can see that even President Bola Tinubu, who fought Babangida, who fought Abacha, who were together in exile for 3 years in London. He couldn't spit fire the way we used to spit fire in those days. So Nigeria has a way of sucking you in to the extent that you become a part of the system. And anybody who knows our country very well, we know that calling for the prosecution of either Gawan or Babangida or any of the principal actors is just an exercise in futility.
Because it's a mafia nation. There are owners of Nigeria. And every now and then, if you get drafted into their midst, you get to be in the midst of the most evil group of people that operates in a very different pedestal. Sometimes you probably will think they're not humans too. They don't go to jail, by the way, just so you know. That's why we call Nigeria a crime scene. It is only a crime scene where criminals, right, actually gets rewarded. The more criminally you are, the more crimes you have on your belt. there's a chance that you're going to get promoted so that you can commit more crimes, financial, terrorism, or, name it. It is that bad. So it's a mafia place. And it is also a place where terrorists are rewarded and activists are jailed. Yeah, the irony. That is why you call Nigeria a crime scene. The number one person in that place right now is the Jaga bandit, Tinubu, Ebola, Kolu, a drug baron, for that matter, a CIA asset, the man that every of his record, right, will tell you that he should be in jail, not in presidential office. But it is Nigeria, man. You are only going to be hated when you die, I think. Yeah, you won't be able to defend yourself and all that. If Abacha was alive, they will call him Elder Statesman today. Yeah, they will call him Elder Statesman. Obang Mara is Elder Statesman. What's the other guy's name? That's Ogufe. Including, they are calling themselves Elder Statesmen. Men who are supposed to be either ex-convicts, to have received state pardon after spending maybe 20, 30, 40 years in jail for what they have done to Nigeria. But it is Nigeria. You get to see other smaller criminals who are not really small, because every criminal in that contraption, in that public space, is responsible for thousands of lives being destroyed every day. Aye? Somebody will take what belongs to thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, and that's it. Don't go to jail. Except when they want to just give us a bit of a spectacle, say, oh yeah, you're standing trial in front of the EFCC. This man, Mr. Pierce, Elder Pierce, says something about this Tinubu and why he chooses never to he would never work with Tinubu. He's a PDP man, by the way, right? But listen to this.
My own friends are calling me traitor now. People are calling me, they're sending me messages. You said, Tokes, why don't you want this merger? I think you're already working for Tinubu now. Can you imagine? Now I find out the reason they are saying that.
Are you working for the president?
I am working for the PDP, obviously. I know the president very well, and is a man of ill repute. I can never work for him. He doesn't deserve it. Nigeria doesn't deserve a terrible president like this, and God forbid that I should be found with a man like that. Now, you see, the reason why they're asking me, and I find out, is that they are members of the Labour Party. They want me to come to the Labour Party to join them, as they want PDP to come into the Labour. Say, look, if you want to work for me and the Labour Party, please go ahead. Let me do what I can for the PDP. When we go to election, we shall see who Nigerians want. That's all.
Atiku doesn't think that PDP can face APC as it is as right now. I mean, we can hold it selfish.
I know. That's what Atiku thinks. Mm-hmm. Atiku has been wrong many times before. And he's wrong again.
But you were part of the presidential committee of 2023, and Atiku was your candidate.
Yes. Let me tell you something. And at the appropriate time, if it comes to it, I will reveal as much as I should. For now, let me just say that Atiku was in PDP in 2015. He left PDP in 2015, came back in 2017. He was welcome. I was one of the people that worked with him to get a nomination, to get a ticket for 2019. But he ran that election. He lost. His attitude to the party is part of the reason why he's having problems now. I supported him mainly, primarily because he promised to restructure Nigeria. And I believe, even now, if Makinde wants to run for president, the first thing I told him is, if you are interested in restructuring Nigeria, let me understand that you know what we're talking about. Nigeria will never settle unless we reorganize the way the system works. It's too centralized. It's a military system we're running. We have to run a truly democratic system whereby each region, just like in the US, each state has control over so many things. You don't overload the center. President is just too powerful. Everything is from Abuja. So once you agree to do that, that's the reason I supported Atiku. Now, Atiku has, he ran in 2023. He lost in 2023. If he wants to run again in 2027,